Hello, friends. Welcome to another episode of this amazing podcast series, How Qigong and Tai Chi Changed My Life. A while back, I did a panel discussion with five master teachers talking about how Qigong is needed in our world today. From that episode, which we got so much great feedback about, I have been meeting personally and speaking with each of the master teachers to ask one question. What is your go-to in Qigong? This is one of my favorite things because I have my own favorite things that I do, the things I remember the most, the things I feel the most deeply. And so I've been having fun having these conversations. Today's guest is Dr. Gayl Hubatch. You've seen her several times on this podcast series, and I want to say hello, Gayle. Good to see you today.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much for how you've shown up here in leadership in Qigong, really, truly around the world, bringing us principles and practices of traditional Chinese medicine through your own work, your business practice, your personal practice, and as I knew you as one of my teachers. So I really want to say thank you so much for that.
Oh, thank you.
Today, I want to ask you, what is your personal go-to in Qigong?
This is a very interesting question. And the reason it's interesting is because whoever is asking the question, in this case, you, and whoever's listening to this podcast, your audience, has to come to an understanding of what Qigong is to them, right? Because Qigong, it's not like, oh, I'm stressed, so I'm going to go out for a run. We have to create a context here. So when you say, what is my go-to Qigong? Well, I can rub my hands together. Is that Qigong? Not necessarily, only if I imply the principles. And the principles of the practice are posture, which means like you come into your body. It's the way you embody yourself. It's a sense of presence and an alignment of the spine, which helps to access the energy centers. Sometimes they're called chakras. We call them three treasures. There's three treasures. We involve our breath and our intention. So, what is my go-to Qigong? Well, first of all, I have to embody those three treasures. And just by doing that internally, I'm already connecting with a Qigong practice. Now, Qigong outwardly could be an exercise. Then I might rub my hands together, take a breath, put my intention in my palms, and start to what we call awaken the qi, like bring a sense of connection to the movement through our breath and intention. And pretty soon, especially if you practice, you start to feel a little magnetism there because we naturally emit bioelectric and magnetic energy. That comes from our heart. The heart is the organ that has the greatest amount of electricity and thus magnetism, the potential and the action throughout our system. And in science, we know a lot about chemistry today, and it's fascinating to build our understanding of chemistry into these practices. But we also know a lot about the bioelectrical connectivity of the heart through our nervous system, through our blood system, through our bones, through all of the body systems. So the heart in Chinese medicine, we call it the main organ, the emperor, the monarch. And so for me, knowing that and having a fair amount of experience with it, I've been in my field for 4 decades now. So it's like a crazy amount of time.
Yeah.
And and doing acupuncture on thousands of people in my life, I can connect with the chi maybe a little easier than people that are just starting to come into this.
Right.
And so when you say, what is your Qigong go to? Like the way I do it is simpler because I have a cultivation already installed in my brain and in my body because of my connection to that energetic center of the heart, or our middle dantian, and the energetic centers of the upper dantian and our lower dantian in the body. Now, that's not to say somebody that's brand new can't do this automatically, because we can, anybody can, right? That's the beauty of Qigong. It's natural to us. We naturally fall into rest when we're tired, for example, right? In the morning, the most yang time of day, we have sunlight, we have energy, we've just slept, hopefully. And our cortisol levels are high, and we want to move or work, or it's more of an active time. And the evening, when we've had a full day and after a meal and we're getting ready to rest, the cortisol levels decline and our parasympathetic nervous system starts to decline. So under this, I'm mentioning these two things, Susan, because these principles also are guiding our Qigong practice. So if I know that in the morning, my sympathetic system is high, cortisol's high, my yang energy is high, however you think about it, and in the evening, I deliberately slow myself down, relax my body, create more relaxation response, the parasympathetic. That's a way of balancing neurochemicals and the way they're transmitted through our systems. So that, in a sense, is also Qigong practice.
Before you go on, I just want to say this is like a mini masterclass, just those few minutes. I was a type A, then I went into inner work, personal healing, and then I went into recovery of type A. And then eventually Qigong found me, and it was hard for me to do the things of which you speak because I didn't have this practice, the cultivation, as you called it.
Or even probably a sense of balance in your life.
I didn't have a sense of balance, all the things.
Yeah.
Then when Qigong found me and I started, it was hard for me, but I really wanted it. And then I learned the practices of which you speak from you and other teachers at the Institute of Integral Qigong and Tai Chi, and I practiced it. And it hasn't been 40 years for me. It's been 5 or 6 years now, but I am here to say the example of what you just spoke through. And that's why I said I was listening and I was writing. I wrote down 2 columns, outwardly and inwardly. And
Yeah.
I am the example, living, breathing, real of what you just spoke through, that where I can now live in Qi Gong. Yeah.
Yeah.
So please continue now. And I wanted to say that was like a mini master class, and I am the student of it.
Well, it's really fun to be with you. And, it doesn't matter how long we've practiced, or it's really our sincerity. You come to this practice with a sincere appreciation for how it developed in the world, and recognition of we are beings of the earth, and we have these innate healing abilities within us. And then to me, it's like, wow, this is like a miracle. This is like an amazing amount of power to connect with not just my breath and my body, and learn to still my thought, but recognize too, wow, I'm in nature. And now looking out and connecting with the plants and the trees and this beautiful spring season we have. This is the key difference of Qigong to other modality of practice. And it's also one of the key benefits, in my opinion, is that not only can we create the structure of balance within us by understanding these energy portals, these areas of significance that are our organs, and our brain and the ability to generate thought. So we have this within us, and then we recognize, well, we're in the natural world, even if we live in New York City or Paris or something like that, right? We have the sky, we have
Yep.
the ground, we
Yep.
have trees, we have the air. And to get quiet enough internally from our thoughts, to be able to find breath and bring the mind to the breath and perceive, oh, I'm in this beautiful environment. Now I'm connecting with nature. And we can add these gentle movements, our
Yep.
gestures, right? And it almost doesn't matter what the gestures are. Like, I also like to do spontaneous Qigong according to how I feel. If I'm stressed, we've had family issues lately, and you know how it gets, like so much
Worry leading to
worry,
anxiety to
things to
stress.
do, what ifs, all that stuff. Okay, if I'm recognizing, okay, that's my mind based on past patterning or whatever, it doesn't even matter. If this is my experience in this moment, I'm going to do something like tapping, right? I'm going to
Yeah.
clear the
Yeah.
energy from my field with kind of something brisk.
Just
And then,
before you go on, I just want to
yeah,
say verbally, you were showing us something in case people are listening, where you can take your own hand and you can tap on your body. Then you
yeah,
took your own hands and you brushed off the energy from your arms, from your heart space, even from your face and mind. You took your own
yeah,
hands and you brushed it off. Yeah.
yeah. And it's like a gesture of, I'm pushing this outside of my energy field. We have an energy field that's about the length of our arms around the body, above us and below us. And this is also called the torus field in science. This is a scientific, proven, energetic event. This is not a woo-woo concept. We are energy beings, ultimately. Science knows that, we know that, we connect with that. We have an energy field that the earth emits and that we emit. So if we connect with the thought, okay, I'm going to engage my intention, perhaps you might think of it as your willpower, to move out these stressful thoughts, by doing this kind of tapping, brushing. Okay, so we're moving that out of our energy field. And then we bring in the thought, I'm going to settle this down. I'm going to smooth this out. What feels good to smooth that out? I like a soft brushing then, a clearing, a gathering. I can gather from my breath. I can reach down, gather from the earth. I can look up, gather from the sky. So these gestures are symbolic, but because our mind and breath and energy field of the body is part of this larger construct of life, it's really more than a symbol. It's a way for us to literally connect with energy of the earth and perhaps energy of others. I can think of you, Susan, and send you my energy. I can bring love into my heart and care and appreciation for what you're doing in the world and the voice that you're speaking. And there might be a moment later in the week or next week where you think about me, right? Well, where did that energy that I'm creating go? Energy's never wasted. Einstein said that, right? And so if we create a vibrational frequency that we want to spread out in the world, people feel it, things feel it, creatures feel it. I used to practice Tai Chi in the park. I had a group for years and years, and the birds would come, and sometimes the squirrels would come and just watch. We also have deer in this area. Occasionally a deer would come and they just watch.
Yes.
Because when you watch somebody doing Qigong or Tai Chi, and they've done studies on this too, it actually affects your own nervous system. It calms people down just to watch the practice.
We see it with pets. If you're teaching online, you see it with pets come
Yeah,
in.
especially cats, right?
Yep, cats will
A
jump
lot
up
of
on
the
the
energy.
table.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
So
Um,
I know I'm kind of getting tangential about your
we,
question.
it's not tangential. It's actually core. It's actually central.
Okay.
Because I just want to say we use different words, but the way I wrote down as I was listening to you, you said bringing intention to your mind. You can, number one, break up thoughts, right?
Yeah.
You use tapping. I do this, Gail, God's honest truth. Sometimes this difficulty I feel today with things in the world, I do thumping, I do tapping, and I might
Yeah.
do it pretty hard to break up stuckness
Yeah.
inside me.
And it works, right? It
It
helps.
works. It
Yeah.
works. So number one, you can break up the thoughts,
Yeah.
and then number two, you said you can move out the thoughts, and you did a form of brushing
Mhm.
off your body as one example. We can,
Yeah.
take from in and go out and
Yeah.
offer exactly.
Yeah.
So the number two would be you can move out those thoughts. And
Yeah.
then number three, you said you can gather in. And then
Right.
using your hands, you made a gathering motion. Depending
Right.
if they're low down, you're bringing in yin energy. If they're high up, gathering from the sky above, etc. And so
Yeah.
I use these every day. I also have become the living, walking experience and expression of
Yeah.
Qigong. And as a result, it's soothing. It's
Yeah.
soothing.
Yeah. I think, for me, the intention of Qigong practice is to stay in alignment with myself and the natural forces of the earth and the cosmos. I feel very connected to the cosmos. And so these kind of simple practices help to purify the field, or you might say stress patterns that are, jagged vibrational frequencies. We can literally change those frequencies with our breath and more loving thoughts or thoughts of gratitude. the heart math community has a lot of research and scientific, articles about this.
This is an important resource that
Yeah,
you're sharing with us, the Heart Math community. You're
yeah,
the first person who introduced me to it. And
yeah,
I actually never liked math, but now I love math formulas, data.
yeah, yeah.
And
So
so,
it's
yeah,
data of the heart, and I became a heart math trainer because it supports all the principles and theories and practices of Chinese medicine, which I knew because I started studying so young.
I
Um,
just want to
but
say that even high practitioners, master teachers, it's not really about never feeling stressed because we're
oh,
human.
yeah,
And so that's not what you're for me, that's not what you're going for. Others might say, "Oh, you're so zen." Well, the reason I'm zen is from a committed, and you said the word intentional
yeah,
practice of being inward, inwardly connected, understanding. I learned from you early on, again, an introduction to the organs. I never thought about my liver one time for
yeah,
40 years of my life.
yeah.
Honestly, I thank God I'm healthy. So I realize that's a
You
privileged
have to, yeah, and that's
statement. I
all
didn't have to.
okay. Yeah,
Then I began to bring in intentionality to my organs, the
yeah,
energy fields,
yes, yes,
and so on. And so I just absolutely love the simplicity of what you're talking about because, as Roger says, it's free, it's immediately accessible, and
yes,
it
that's
works.
right. Yes, yes. And stress is just energy, right? So it's not something that is outside of us or that it's outside of our ability to regulate it. Stress is a form of dysregulation
Yeah.
in the body. And Qigong is about regulating, self-regulating the nervous system and all the body systems, including our chemistry, neurochemistry, all of it, because it's all connected. And so when we begin to use these kind of simple regulating movements with our breath, the breath is key, and also bringing intention. Those are the three treasures, our three practices, the three um, corrections or whatever, however you say it. And though that principle allows the Qigong to make a difference, make an actual difference. And so when you say, what is my go-to Qigong practice? It has to start with those three governing principles. And then once I have that engaged in myself, then, these other gestures can deepen the practice and deepen our connection to ourselves and deepen our ability to open our hearts and create more space internally for creative thoughts. And so to me, that's key. And then I know this time is short, so I wanted to just mention one more thing that I like and I do often. So once I have those principles engaged, and I might do like the tapping, the brushing, the smoothing out, the gathering, and then this gesture of aligning where I bring my hands down the thumb down the center line of the body.
Yeah.
And then you let your hands sit like this in your lap. And then the bottom hand comes out and up. And I really like that simple gesture. It's kind of a sealing or a closing of the alignment because our major energy sources are in the center of the body. And to me, it brings out that central vessel of alignment. and then it kind of secures the practice. I feel like now I don't know, it's like maybe you could think of it as protection or stability, stabilizing. Yeah. Because
Yeah,
you want to clear, you want to imbibe, the sense of goodness that you're after, and then you want to secure it.
mm.
Yeah. So those are
I just love this. Before we go, I want to just say one thing that you make so clear to us. Getting it right is not what it's about. And many
no,
people who
there's
follow
no
me right have heard me say Dr. Roger Yanka had to work with me personally to help me, recovering type A, get
way.
that. And you've shown us here today through what you called spontaneous Qigong that once you come in to the three treasures, the three corrections of your mind, your body, you call in your breath, and then you can create your own gesture. You can bring up from what's in and let it go, bring up from what's in and let it go, or you can gather in, wherever you need in your mind, et cetera, et cetera. And so this is a hard lesson for people who are used to being told you have to get it a certain way. You have to do it right, or it's not right,
Or it doesn't work.
or it doesn't work.
But yeah, in this system, the thing that makes it work is your intention and sincerity. Your ability, your connection of presence with yourself. And then the gestures can be, yes, personal. But that's not to say that that these specific patterns that were developed over time in China are not necessary or effective. They are, because using those kind of patterns, like learning a system, is also really key to, I think, in like evolving the ability to cultivate chi. So to start, it's maybe not necessary, but then if you really want to connect and understand the system more, it's really good to involve yourself with a teacher to learn specific practices and then do them. And when you do them over and over and over, then it gets kind of installed in yourself, and you can reach then another level of connection.
And of course, I took level one, level two, I repeated level two. Now I'm taking level three this year because I'm committed.
Oh, good.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I've already signed up. I'm paid the whole thing. And it's going to
I'm
be,
gonna be one of the instructors of that.
I know all of you. That's one of the
Yeah,
reasons I was one of the first to sign up because I'm a practitioner. I teach myself, but
yeah,
also exactly what you just said, learning some of these systems supports the deepening and also the
yeah.
word regulation.
Regulation,
Regulation.
self-regulation.
And yeah, I'm very excited about it. And so also each of the forms that you might be taught by a teacher in a teaching setting, you're going to find beauty and relevance that you can't even imagine as they tell the story of the form and connect it to, all the 10,000 things, as we say. So, Gail, this is so good. Thank you so much. I wrote so many notes. I'm going to put some of them. I created a couple of constructs, even from our conversation, and an easy 1, 2, 3 to understand how you bring it in. This is something anyone can do. And you and I are here
Yeah.
to invite everyone, come on in. Come on
Yeah,
in.
it's time for more Qigong in the world.
Yeah,
The world needs Qigong right now more than ever.
exactly. So, where can people find you? Where would you like to point people to go?
Oh, they can just email me, gaylhub at gmail, GAYLHUB,
Yeah.
at gmail.com. Yeah.
Okay, and I'll put that in the notes. We have your book. I'll tag your book in the notes as well. And
Yeah.
yeah, and I'll be seeing you soon. And I just want to say Thank you for continuing to show up here in this podcast series to share more, give more as a gift to humanity today. I really appreciate it.
Well, it's my pleasure, really. Thank you.
All right, I'll see you soon.